Hi, this is Adele, and in this video, I am going to show you 4 different paintings that I have, and I'm going to talk about why I put collage or mixed media in some and why I don't. There's a specific reason. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the like button below because you don't want to miss out on any of my Saturday morning art tutorials. So let's get started. This is the first painting I'm going to show you, which is one of my abstract landscape or beach scenes. And I do not have any collage or mixed media put in here. And the reason is because I wanted it really flat. I wanted everything to flow, be fluid, and if I put any kind of mixed media in there, there's a possibility that it might take away from the overall feel. And I always put, when I have something that's subtle colors, like this and here, I want you to see all the subtlety. So I actually finish it all off with, put several layers along the way and finish it all off with a gloss medium. And that brings out all the detail. It makes all the colors brighter and more interesting. So when I have subtle paintings, I usually put gloss gel or gloss medium over the whole thing. So now let's go to painting number 2. Now this is the second piece that I'm going to show you. I did put mixed media and collage on this piece. This is another abstracted landscape, but it's different. It's a little bit more realistic. It's not as, it has more going on in it as far as there's not as much subtlety. And so I wanted to bring out certain sections. It is larger, so that gives me more flexibility to put more pieces on it. Now, I didn't put any up here. The top half, I did not put any collage or mixed media pieces. I don't know if you can see it, but here I have put brown paper. I keep a stash of all my collage papers, and not just color swatches, but from all different kinds of things, and I put them in piles. So I can go by and say, okay, well, I wanted to put something that will blend in. I didn't want it to stick out, so I looked for something that was white or like this color, this beige. And so this was it, but it gave an interesting kind of abstracted look and more texture. And then again, I looked for something. I had this color painted in, and so I wanted to look for a piece. This actually came straight from my palette. I peeled it off and put it on with gloss medium, which is thinner than gloss gel. When you have a thicker piece to put on your paintings, use gloss gel. If it's thinner, you can just do gloss medium. It's like a glue. Anyway, so this is straight from the palette, and it brings in this color and some down here. But I didn't want it too contrasted because I wanted it to blend, but I didn't want it to just totally stick out. And those are the things you have to think about before you put anything, or collage or even marks or colors on your painting. Do you want it to be subtle, or do you want it to be bold and be contrasted? So moving on down here, this is another orange piece. I picked this one because I loved first of all, the shape. Everything is kind of rectangular or horizontal, and I wanted some angular piece because it gives it a little bit more dynamic feel. And I picked this orange because it's the complement of blue, and that always makes it more interesting, and it will stand out, and I wanted it to stand out. So this also is a thin piece of paper, and this is one that, again, it's a thin piece of paper, so I used gloss medium, but I actually wanted to tie this color into this and this, so your eye would tie this whole bottom piece together. So that's this piece. Let's go on to the third one. So this is the fourth piece. This is what I call my flower drawings. And I do large, this is a 4-foot by 6-foot piece, and I love drawing so much. So as I've told you before in several previous videos, you can work on many different genres and still have your own aesthetic. So even in this video, you've seen how I have 3 different ones, and I'm going to show you a 4th one at the next painting. And before I tell you about this one, please leave a comment below if you have any questions about collage or anything I've talked about, any questions about varying up your genres. I'd love to hear from you. I always do, and I try to answer every single comment personally. So in this one, I used mostly pencil as my, it's not really collage, but it's a multimedia. I do I draw something on a piece of paper, and then I enlarge it and draw it on here with the system that I developed. And after I draw it in pencil, then I go over, and I have the composition basically put here. Then I go over it with black, a big black brush or a thin brush, depending on what kind of effect that I want. And so this one, I did not use any paper to put on it. I wanted to use just drawing, because with the flowers that I do, I love the drawing technique with it, not necessarily collage where other pieces of paper. So I started to do just some drawing on the leaf. I write on every one of mine, and I put layers on it, even in these, because I don't want it to just stick out and like this just totally black that comes forward. Like I've talked to you also before in other videos, you push forward and, well, you push forward and go back. And by putting something over on top of these, the drips and the white, it pushes it back so you don't just see the big graphic drawing, but you still see it. It comes across when you look at it from far away. I love these. These are really fun to do, and you'll see many more of these. So now I'm going to go on to the final large one that I'm going to tell you all about how I put collage in that. This is a 5 by 7 foot floral painting, white floral painting. And on these, I love to do a lot of drawing. I don't want to put much color in it. And this is what I do. I put a lot of drawing. I love drawing. So I draw an experiment in my sketchbook with a lot of flowers. And then I decide, after I put the big composition in there, like you've seen in previous videos, then I start adding some of the other pieces like these, which I draw, and then I will attach to the painting. And that way, when you have mixed media, whether it's colorful and colorful papers, whether it's just paper that's written or something on a tracing paper out of your sketchbook, it all adds to a variety and depth for the painting. And so here you can see that this is very subtle. I drew these on tracing paper, or after I put the tracing paper over some of the flowers that I did in my sketchbook. And then I drew them, I cut them out, and then I put them on here with a gloss medium. Here are 2 different ones, and then I needed a bigger one. I wanted a much bigger one to balance off the bigger florals. So I did a very large magnolia. And then I went over it, same concept, same thing I did with these. I put a tracing paper over in my sketchbook. And then again, because I didn't want it to just show this white coming at you, I put paint over it to kind of push it back, to blend more with the whole piece. And here's another one. This is a different type. I wanted something tall and narrow. You always want to be able to think of variety, the composition as far as which way flowers are moving, which way are they going. This one's leaning this way. These 2 are kind of leaning in. So I wanted something kind of straight up to bring your eye up here and to come around the painting. So this is a little stronger. I have a variety of I still use China marker and a variety of pencils. This is a little stronger because I wanted to get the variety. This is a little less stronger, and then this is fainter. And one last one I put in here is this piece, and I wanted it all the way down at the bottom, and I did the same thing. It was the same technique, and I put it on here with gloss medium, and then I went over it with some paint. So that's all 4. There are reasons to do collage and mixed media. There are reasons not to. I hope you've gotten some idea of why I do it, and I would love to hear your comments. Please put comments below on anything you feel about this, whether you like it, whether you don't. If you use it and struggle with it, maybe I can help you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.